Hey, what's up? It's Brad, Connor, coming to talk to you
Jason,
about
Tim.
Commander.
Commander 2017 gets released at the end of this week, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, I'm really excited about it.
We're really excited about it, but not only because I'm looking forward to getting a couple new Commander decks, which is always fun, but because we're going to take one of the pre-cons, and Connor's going to build his first ever EDH deck. It's going to be fun.
I'm really pumped. A while back, I brought all my. In fact, do I have them here to show?
Probably not.
I brought all of my old like Mirage Tempest 5th edition era cards from when I was playing really heavy in the 6th grade. And he looked through a bunch, and you were like, "Well, these are all crap, except for this one." And pulled a Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yeah.
And he was like, "So what we're going to do is we're going to take this card and we're going to turn it into an EDH deck."
So the thing is this: you're starting with the pre-con of the Dragon deck. It's a 5-color deck, so obviously the hardest thing about a 5-color deck is the mana base. We're going to need to put a lot of mana fixing in, multicolored lands, mana rocks, command tower, commander sphere, darksteel ingot. These are all things that tab for all 5 colors in this deck, which is hugely important. Is there a different type of deck that seems more appealing to you? Do you want to...
Yeah, so this is maybe a little complicated, but ideally what I'd like is some kind of dragon deck whereby I can combo in such a way that maybe mills the table, and more specifically myself, so that when I play my final dragon, I can say, I am the last one.
All of that for Sean Connery?
You didn't think it was worth it?
The guy still thinks it's okay to hit a woman as long as he uses an open hand. Not my idol.
Is that true?
Unfortunately, it is true. But anyway,
Screw does not support.
No, we don't condone abuse or hatred of any kind. So, without going too far into specifics,
Nazis is what we're saying.
We're saying that.
Having never built an EDH deck before, but thinking about what I've seen, these dragons are some pricey mofos.
Pricey is in high casting costs?
Correct.
Very true.
So what's my early game strategy to sort of float me until I can start to assemble my armada?
You're going to want a lot of early game mana fixing and ramp. So that's why I was saying you want mana rocks, artifacts that make mana, maybe even a couple creatures that can help you make mana. Now your commander, the Dragon, which is the Eminence commander for dragons.
It's not
It's literally...
Dragon.
Yeah, it is. You are. It's Dragon.
They're getting ready for Ixalan. They're already putting that pirate shtick in there.
Oh, I thought you were doing like the growling sexy. Yes, the sexy angry dragon says that all dragons cost 1 less to cast. But they're still just about all going to be 4 to 5 mana and more. So you're just not doing much in the early turns.
Now let's talk Frank Underwood strategy. So I understand, ramping, mana fixing, and so on and so forth in order to establish my core mechanic, in order to establish my base.
Sure.
But as far as how I negotiate with the table and how I talk to my opponents, is my, obviously they see that at some point I'm about to have some dragons on the field.
They're aware that your deck will eventually do things. Okay, and anyone that watched our last game, there were even comments about using distraction tactics and conversation to kind of politic your way through a game where your deck takes time to develop, which is something I enjoy about Commander. When you're in a 4-player game, if your deck is not doing much early, even though we know better, most Commander players will kind of leave you alone until you pose an immediate threat. Now, at this point, you can become that guy in your playgroup, as unfortunately I have become, where that doesn't work.
Right.
They will come at you earlier, and you can't afford to have a deck that does nothing until it goes off 8-9 turns in. You won't last 8 or 9 turns.
So you're packing early removal, you're packing just general defensive meta?
Correct. That's why if you play against my Locust God deck or see it played more, you'll see a decent amount of card removal and control and counterspell type magic to protect myself and protect what I'm trying to do.
So give me a couple must-have cards that you would...
Well, any deck that runs blue in EDH must have Cyclonic Rift. 1 in a blue, return target permanent to its owner's hand that you don't control. Or for 6 mana, return every non-land permanent that you don't control to its owner's hand. You'll want to have a couple of counter spells in there. The regular counter spell for 2 blue. Arcane Denial, 1 in a blue, which is great because you don't have to have 2 blue mana sources in play, which in a 5-color deck may not come around early game. Realistically, until you kind of develop a reputation or persona
Sure.
that demands attention earlier,
Sure.
I would be less focused on protecting what I'm trying to do and more focused on just trying to get enough mana and enough colors in play that I can just do what I want my deck to do.
Right. So play weak. Maybe limp up to the table.
You said Frank Underwood. I'm thinking Kaiser Soze. It's the
Oh!
That's right, Kevin
Spoilers.
Spacey. We know you. Anyway, yeah, you said spoiler as I spoiled it. So,
Or John Doe even really
yeah.
didn't seem like such a crazy...
No, I mean, but if I see that you have band-aids on all your fingertips, I'm going to assume something's wrong with you.
You're going to assume I'm a man in black.
This is why we can't make a 4 or 5 minute video
black.
anymore. Anyway,
The good guy's dressed in black. Remember that, just in case we have a face-to-face and make contact.
You're wearing bright
Title
red
left by me,
pants.
M-I-B. Means what you thought you saw, you did not see.
Anyway, so yeah, for your dragon deck, as I said, with a lot of my decks, I only focus on doing what I want the deck to do.
You know, as I was playing earlier CCGs in my life, namely L5R, one of the first lessons to really wrap my head around, because I came into the game with the expectation that I should be kind of building the meta into my deck for any possible opponent, and it was a very sort of reactive way to think about deck building. And as I sort of came to understand, the primary lesson was, find out the thesis of your deck. Find out what it does the best, and every single card should support that victory condition. It's kind of the anti-fog argument.
Everything is an anti-fog argument. It's literally exactly what we were saying in episode 3 when we told Steve,
Right.
It's 8 cents worth of crap, get it out, put a card in that helps your deck do what it needs to do.
Like Haze of Pollen.
Yeah. No. I'm really excited that he's getting into Commander. I'm really looking forward to the 2017 pre-cons. The best part about EDH is you get to play with all those cool cards that you don't get to use in other competitive formats. You get to use overpowered, broken, stupid, high casting costs, nuts, and then you get to watch your deck go off and it's like fireworks at your kitchen table. It's awesome. But before he starts building his dragons and I start tweaking all of my other decks, we're going to bring you a cast game, a 4-way EDH game with straight out of the box decks.
We're going to tie Brad's hands behind his back so he's drawing with his mouth, tapping, everything with the mouth, really.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be called Brad Plays With His Mouth.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the channel. Please like and subscribe our videos, and we'll keep bringing you more stuff. We'll let you know how the Commander decks go.
Absolutely. Goodbye, the internet.